can't believe she's actually said that.
Well, hello into people, I hope you're doing okay. Now today's video is a bit of a follow-up to this video which I made back in November, talking about Sia and her new film Music, which is currently out in Australia by the time this video goes out, I believe. Like I say, this is a follow-up video to that video that I made in November to actually bring you up to speed on, you know, what Sia has said in a recent article that came out. But firstly, I want to take the opportunity to clarify some points from that first video, if you've already seen that first video, because I don't know, I kind of wanted to bring you up to speed on, firstly, things I found out after that video and also my own mindset as of this video. So the first point I really wanted to make is the video that I made in November is not my proudest moment on YouTube. I really made that video as a reactionary kind of thing because I saw it online like everyone else did. I felt a certain way about the situation at the time and I made a video on it, you know, literally same day. Filmed it, edited it, then put it out the exact same day. But with that video, I felt I really missed the mark. Yes, it obviously did well, but you know, it's not all about views. You know, it's about doing stuff that's right and it's about doing stuff that's gonna entertain people, you know? And I'm still trying to find the balance between the two. Which actually leads me quite nicely onto my second point. I talked about Sia having in her film involvement from Autism Speaks. This is not true. Autism Speaks came on board sometime after the film had wrapped, and in that video, the November one, I made it sound like Autism Speaks had involvement from the very beginning. I wanted to make that point clear and obviously apologise if I did mislead people, because I don't want to be the person causing hysteria, you know, and spreading misinformation, because we have, frankly, enough misinformation and people talking utter rubbish online these days, and I don't want to be one of those people contributing to that. My third point, in the November video, this is a massive follow-up, so if you have not seen that video, make sure you check it out. But the whole Maddie Ziegler, you know, the non-autistic person playing the autistic character, I'm just going to clarify for people on this video as well. I think it is incredibly important that autistic people are telling our own stories. It is incredibly important because it should be coming from us, you know, as the people who have these experiences, who, you know, are telling these stories to, you know, as many people as possible. It should be authentic. Ultimately, it should be us telling the stories. But when it comes to how that's portrayed, I'm still on the mindset that, you know, as long as the research and, you know, it's a true representation, or at least tries to be with good intentions, then I think it's perfectly okay to have a neurotypical person play an autistic character. If the research and the consultation, if that is good enough, then that's all well and good. I mean, there's a few examples of that already. I mean, the A word, for example, you know, the main character, who's a young kid, is neurotypical, but he does an incredibly great job for someone who is so young. I believe Freddie Highmore in The Good Doctor is also neurotypical, and he obviously plays the autistic character in that, but it should be autistic people, us, you know, us as the people who, you know, have these stories, have these experiences. We should be telling those stories, you know, firstly. The fourth point I really want to make, Sia fans were commenting on my video and on other people's videos that this was a film that Sia wanted to make about her non-verbal, non-speaking autistic friend, and it was kind of a tribute to him. I think the intent is actually really good, you know, if that was Sia's true intent, you know, that's obviously a good thing. I'm personally happy with that. I just feel ultimately though that the execution was incredibly poor on Sia's part. Honestly, the whole situation, looking back on it, was just a complete mess. And actually, fifth and final point that I really wanted to make here is I was getting links to a petition to get this film, you know, Sia's film Music, cancelled. I felt incredibly uncomfortable with the whole idea. I never signed it. Didn't want to sign it. The reason why I feel uncomfortable about this whole, you know, movement of cancelling stuff to do with this sort of thing is because I do want to see more media representation of autistic people. And I think, especially with the Sia thing as well, because of how big it blew up, I'm very fearful that, you know, people in movies and also TV shows will go with this sort of story, or, you know, try to develop these characters, these autistic characters, because of fears of backlash from the autistic community. The ultimate way to instill change is by, you know, ensuring that our voices are heard, but it's constructive. And also the opposite is happening, where, you know, people in media are trying to listen to the autistic community and also interacting with us, so we can, you know, have a kind of unified, you know, force going into these things. So that's ultimately how we instill change. That is ultimately how we will get things changing. But the moment that we try to cancel stuff, it all goes out of the window. But with that out of the way, finally, we're gonna get on to what Sia said in her recent interview. So this article came from the Sydney Morning Herald. Here it is. So this is a quote from the article. Sia said, "Looking back, I should have just shut up. I know that now. It was 3 in the morning, and even though I have a rule that I do not do anything emotional after midnight, I effed up this time." In a series of tweets, Sia defended Caston Ziegler and urged her critics to see the film first, which I do agree with, but I can also, you know, the other side of it, you know, I think it's very important to try and understand the other side of it as well. What I do know is that people functioning at music's level can't get on Twitter and tell me I did a good job either.
I can't believe she's actually said that. What?
Sia, what are you even trying to do here? There may be people who are non-speaking, but they can speak, you know, and social media is one of the ways in which they speak. So to say that, it's just, I guess we need to see the whole film to understand what Sia's really talking about, but it's just not right. Maddie is the reason the Twitter comments profoundly affected me. She had researched her role for 2 years. We watched movies together and I taught her the nuances and tics I had observed from a friend with autism. We did this in the most sensitive and respectful way. She was worried people would make fun of her. I promised her I wouldn't let that happen. If the information about autism that you're getting is from films, that's firstly, you know, not the best place to do that. Obviously, talking to autistic people is the best place to do that. To me, that comment is making it sound like Maddie and, you know, Sia were just having movie nights, you know, watching autistic people in these movies being badly portrayed. That's how it's making me feel with that comment. But I would love to know, and I really want Sia to clarify, you know, what other research she actually did and what other consultations she had, because it's not clear, and it's something that I really need to know and other autistic people really need to know, because it's just not clear. I'm still uncertain about the whole situation, but in terms of the film, I do want to see the film. I want to actually review it for myself, see it for myself, and then review it, give my thoughts to the universe, you know, just to, you know, finalize the saga or the trilogy of this whole thing, really. But yeah, anyway, that's my thoughts. You know, make sure you leave a comment down below saying what you think of the situation. Have your thoughts changed since that video I did in November? Let me know down below, and please try to be respectful. I will be monitoring the comments very closely on this one. You know, it's not something I want to do, but if things are going to get out of hand like they did last time, you know, I want to keep an eagle eye on it, and, you know, just try and be respectful of other people's opinions and things, you know, because I like having a discussion. That's why I make these videos, to have a discussion with people. But I know the majority, if you will, it is just that small minority who, it's a small minority, but it's the most vocal one, and it's whatever. But anyway, until the next video, stay you, stay indie, and I'll see you next time.